for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace, beat flick with the bare face and a slick tongue, that's what she say. She look good, she a big tease when she bite lip with the wink face. Hella bad when she throwing it back, she bring that my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I patted my stat. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James off the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force. If I run his faith, then you ask for it. Niggas cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show need a passport, cause the beat bounced to the cap torn. Feel like I live it and fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Fuck how I live it into existence. Might be ahead of myself, but the bank account did drop up a couple figures. Feel like nobody could fuck with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill, the space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave.
No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave. But everything I say turn into the real thing. I tell her run it up, cause you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave. But everything I'm saying turn into the real thing. I've been living like I'm famous. Like I don't show my face, as I'm jumping on the stage. Like I'm living in a daydream. Lost in imagination. She only want me when she fake. She quick to tell me I'm a fake. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone off the deep end, pull up every weekend. I hate to let her down, but I'm in a fast life, so you never slowing me down. Heart rate dropping, I can no sleep out. How you switch up, you always help me down. Wonder why I turn into a cold of me now. It could be worse, right? I got where I'm at without no work-life balance. You tell me that it's love, but I'm knowing that it's malice. Swap with me, God, cut us from the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave, but everything I say turn into the real thing. Tell them run it up, you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums with the words on the page. But everything is straight. I've been on the wave, but everything I'm saying turn into the real thing.
No, that's my shit.
I know that's your shit. This that shit too. What's going on, family? Welcome to LAPEEF-ING Sundays on the Lapeef Network. Let me introduce the crew. We got Cal, Quest, welcome back, Miss Toya, Chanel, good to see you again, Bruiser, Jay, and he'll be back on and dropped off. Me, myself, on Lapeef Jr. Welcome to LAPEEF-ING Sundays on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
What's going on, everybody? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good. What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, what it do? What it do, man? Good to see you guys again.
Watching these Giants at 8 in the morning, bro.
8 in the morning? Oh, they must be out the country.
Yeah, they overseas. Yep.
Okay, I was
Where you at, Jay?
Oh no, I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, he was talking about the Giants playing the football game.
Yeah.
Are they in England or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I heard.
I think the Bulls supposed to be going to I think Paris.
The Saints was there. I think last week the Saints was there.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging it, man. It's crazy because everybody would migrate to like out the country for a sport. They look at it as a good time. Anyway, man, it's good to see you guys. Let me just see what's going on in the chat. Shout out to the Green Game. We got Ed Hill, Sean Gates. I see you, bro. Mr. BX87. Cola Nix. I know you became a member not too long ago. Hink is in there. Green Gang as well.
Yeah. Sean Gates in there.
Yeah. I say
keeping funky IRL is in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see him. Shout out to all the Green Gang members and everybody that's tuning in right now. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get this show started.
Wait, hold on, JR. Hold on.
Oh shit, go ahead and do it.
Before you start, hold on now. Look, the Lapeef Network done had a nuclear kind of weekend. We ain't gonna talk about no elephants in the room. We just gonna jump straight into the topics, huh, my boy?
Oh yeah. You know, do talk about things behind the scenes. So
okay, all right, okay.
How we move. So anyhow, with that being said, go ahead and get the chat riled up. Quest.
Chat ninjas, assemble! Chat ninja!
Man, I see the merch. The chat ninja shirt is off the chain, man. Look at the detail.
I was gonna say, I see you got a little shirt now. Got a little merch going on.
Hey, be careful with the words, pal. It's not just a little shirt now.
Oh,
man. Yeah, it's coming. Chat ninja shirt. Oh yeah,
man. Make sure when they drop, make sure you guys cop a Chat Ninja shirt.
Oh yeah. Like Royce will go into my drawer and move literally all my shirts out the way just to get to like my Chat Ninja shirts. That way he can point and say chat on the ninjas on the shirt. He loves it.
There you go. Well, make sure you drop it for the kids to the public too. Don't make it just be exclusively in the house too. Quest.
Oh no, come on. When we come, we coming. We got we currently working on the quality control, so it's like a matter of like the quality of the shirt. We working on quality control on the shirts. We looking at hoodies, and we looking at crew necks with hoodie pockets as well. So we got some real special stuff coming for all the chat ninjas. You know we rock with y'all, and this is how we gonna show it by making sure we put the right time and energy into the product that we deliver to y'all. So yeah.
There you go.
What
go ahead.
Grown man size? You gonna have the grown man sizes?
Oh yeah, I already got like a couple niggas that hit me up. One dude was like, "Hey, Quest, I'm a 5X and I'm gonna need about 2 of them joints." I'm like, "We gonna make some special ones for y'all big boys." You know what I'm saying?
Man, if I get my man JR to do me the same way, we be always the world be right.
Hank, I got you, man. I got you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get this show started. If you haven't already, hit the like button. It's free. That's all we're asking for is to like. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And salute to you guys that's out there that show up each and every Sunday. And just supporting all the shows. Just thank you. Special thanks for everybody. All right, our first topic.
Hold on. I got one more thing. Big shout out to Toya. Welcome back, darling. It's good to see you. Hey, drop a one in the chat for Toya. My dog been gone for a minute, taking care of some personal time. She back, better than ever. It's good to see you, Miss Ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out. No. Hey, it was warranted, man. It was warranted. It was much needed, man. All right, let's go and get this show started. Our first topic at this topic this morning, we at 10:43 for me, 11:43 for some folks, and some folks that's on the West Coast, y'all 2 hours back. I don't know what y'all time is, but first topic is how to keep a man from cheating. I do have a video that I'm gonna put up right now where this young lady breaks down how to keep a man from cheating. I sense a little sarcasm, but let me go ahead and run this.
Here are 5 ways to make sure your man never cheats on you. First of all, stop wearing bonnets, okay? That shit is so unnecessary. I don't know why women do it. Sleep with your hair looking beautiful and gorgeous. Secondly, don't deny him the cookie, okay? Even if you're tired and it's been a long day at work and you're taking care of the kids, you need to give up the cookie at all times, even if you're tired. Thirdly, you're gonna have to stop drinking, okay? Men don't like women who drink, and women who drink get cheated on the most, to be honest. So stop drinking, no more mimosas, no more Sunday nights out with the girls, just none of it. Number 4, when you get paid, give him the paycheck. Let a man be a man, okay? Let him lead. You can't be the alpha female. And lastly, stop asking him where he is, okay? Men don't like being asked where they are. Give him some space, give him time to just do what he needs to do, okay? No one wants to be asked, where are you 5,000 times, okay? He said he's coming, so he's coming. Oh, and number 6 is a bonus. You're gonna need a big red wig. You're gonna need it.
So I sent a little sarcasm in the video. I'm just like, what is she doing? But then she became a clown. Let's get our thoughts about that video. How to keep your man from cheating. She's speaking some facts.
I give her a man. You know, most of those videos, man, it's usually some frumpy chick in the car, you know what I'm saying, talking shit. Like, I give her credit, man. She painted her face up, put the clown stuff on, you know, you're gonna need a wig. It was creative, so she get points for that. But if somebody wants to cheat, honestly, they're gonna cheat. Most men, I'm gonna tell you, most men that cheat at the time of their life that they're in, you know what I mean, as far as their maturity and understanding what cheating entails and the people that affect and the things that affect, you know, like and it also matters like how they got in a relationship, because a lot of dudes submit to a relationship. You know, they don't really want to get in it, and it's like, you know, you almost like on a timetable where it's like, all right, we in a relationship. Yeah, all right, you got me. And then they don't really want to be in it, so they're not mentally there. So, you know, they're gonna cheat. If something comes up, they didn't really want to be in this relationship, so they feel entitled to do it. So it's gonna happen.
Okay. Let me get one of the ladies' perspectives started early.
Well, you can't stop a man from cheating. I don't think it's in a woman's power to stop a man from cheating. Anybody from cheating. But there are things that a woman can do to mitigate the chances of it, but there's nothing you can actually do. The whole like contact him a million times part, I think, was like the only realistic thing she actually said in the video. But like, you know, communicating with him, being there for him, supporting him throughout his endeavors or anything that he wants to do, being intimate sexually with him, I think are key points to start off with to mitigate those things. But a man is going to do whatever a man wants to do at the end of the day.
Well, I agree with the part about talk about giving the cookies whenever he wanted. I agree.
One there.
Whenever he wants it. Let me have it.
So as long as she gives up the cookies, that's going to prevent the man from cheating?
No, it's
not. It'll help. I don't know about all you other cats. It'll go help me.
But I mean, what if it's bad, Hank?
That's because you ain't pissing vinegar no more, bruh. You ain't 20 years old. You ain't no spring chicken. You ain't only got one nut in your day, nigga.
It doesn't matter. I want my 1 nut a day, 4 plus days a week. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Hey, Quest, I think you get older in age. I think you may, some men just happy with the fact that a woman just sitting on their lap. It's just the presence of a woman.
Oh, shit, that ain't me, brother.
Okay.
And I'm 47. Give me my once a day. If that's what it takes, give it to me.
One a day, like a vitamin.
Man, hey, I had my vitamin C this morning. I need my vitamin S now. I need my sex.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, Bruce. My fault, King. Were you done with yours? Perspective? Hank? I don't know. Is it just me?
Ink got lost.
Okay. It's like he in the Matrix.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know you was talking to me. My bad. I'm sorry.
Hey, I asked him like this. I'm like, damn, he been reprogrammed.
No, I don't think about that sex, back. No, but seriously,
he might got to get that checked out, man. I think that was something serious right there.
He went to the vitamin shop website. You got a man on point, man. He's on point. You know what I'm saying? And some of those things what she was saying was right. Let a man be a man. That's facts. You have to let your man be a man. You know, a lot of these ladies right now, they want to control and dictate and really be a mother figure over the man, really. And if they feel like they don't have that control, it's just like, hey, if I don't control him, then he's gonna just be off doing what he wants to. And most of the time that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, that's not even the case. He's just enjoying life, you know, trying to do what he needs to do to make the family, help the family be successful, and to not only that, but make his marriage or his relationship successful by letting him be a man. You're part of that helping. But when you're trying to control him, you're not helping. You know, if he works for a company, he's already been controlled by his bosses, his managers, maybe even if his customers, if he has, say, his own business. So he's already been controlled by everything else. All of a sudden now he got to come home and be controlled by his wife, maybe his kids. You know, no, I mean, when does he have his? You know what I'm saying? When?
All right. Go ahead, Cal.
And I think Jay actually brought up something good that goes along with your point, Hink, about control, because some guys actually end up in a relationship that they didn't even want to be in like that. So they just end up, you know, two people call themselves boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, when y'all really never had that conversation about what your intentions are. You just get caught up. So you end up getting cheated on because this person never wanted to really be with you like that, and you know, to begin with. So I think, you know, one of the best ways to get, you know, prevent, I don't know if there's a way to prevent anybody from cheating. You just don't get in a relationship with that person if you don't really know what their character is, if you don't really know what their intentions are with you like that. You know, don't get attached to somebody so quickly, at least emotionally, to where y'all can't even really have the conversation about what you are. You know, people who cheat usually just aren't satisfied with whatever they're getting at the moment. And, you know, a lot of that is just because y'all didn't really have the conversation to even really understand what y'all are even standing at as a two people. So I think that, you know, outside of really having the conversations, you just got to trust that you know the person well enough where they're not going to cheat on you. But how to prevent it other than giving it up at every opportunity, like Hink said, I mean, there's really no way to prevent it from happening. You got to trust that they are going to have your best interest at heart if y'all are really in a relationship.
All right. Quest, what are your thoughts about it, sir? How to keep a man from cheating?
Pick better. Pick better. It's my thing, right? And I want to talk to the fellas, because this is how I think. Fellas, if you have something to lose, you won't risk it on a 20-minute session with somebody that ain't even worth it. The dudes that's out here doing it either don't have something to lose, or they just don't value the things that they do have to lose. Like, it's not even, I think I heard Anton say some shit like this this past weekend. It's like, it never in my mind can I even fathom wasting risking 20-minute session, a 20-minute nut, and throw away everything that I'm over here that I built currently and that I'm trying to build, bro. Like, it's people in circles that I run in, business circles that I run in, that if they were to hear about Quest out here fucking around on his fucking wife, especially as much as the people that fuck with me respect my wife, they would be like, what, nigga? Yeah, I can't rock with you, Holmes. I can't do it. So if you're not in that position, fellas, strive to be in that position, right? Strive to be in a position where you're surrounded by individuals that look down and frown upon foolishness like that, bro. That shit is fucking stupid. Do I think there's a way for you to stop a man from doing that? The only way I think is just choosing the right man. Don't choose a man that ain't got nothing to lose, because you know he don't care. He don't care. And I know things are relative. I'm not saying go and find you a millionaire nigga who got all these different assets. It's not what I'm saying. But some men don't even value their family, and they'll go out here and risk it all on. You know what I'm saying? So pick better. Ladies, vet these niggas properly. And then just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing to try to mitigate any of those types of movements, right? But if you do your due diligence on the guy you pick, you shouldn't have these problems. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base.
Hey, Quest, you're exactly on point.
I got a question for you, Quest. Do you think the men should pick better as well, where they wouldn't have to be in the position? Because if they chose the right woman, that's for them, then they wouldn't go looking nowhere else. I'm just curious.
So I agree with that, right? Like when I picked my wife, like that was it for me, dog. That's it. Like I'm still sexually attracted to my wife just like how I was when I first met her. You know what I'm saying? Still. You know what I mean? So yeah, fellas, pick better. Cause I know some of you niggas right now done picked a woman that, like, for example, didn't work out before when you first met her. She didn't have those types of habits. Then she done messed around and had 1 or 2 kids. I mean, this is just physics. What do you think is gonna happen to her? Now you're not sexually attracted to this particular woman now because she done blew up or what have you. And she's not picking up new habits. She didn't have these habits to fucking begin with. All this comes with the proper vetting initially, bro. But just like Jay said, what was the exact words you used, Jay, when you were like they submit to the relationship? They're like, no.
All right, we boyfriend and girlfriend now. All right, that's cool. Yeah.
All right, whatever you say, bro. Whatever you say, we can do that. That's cool.
You see what I'm saying? So if you pick the right one, you'll have these issues. Here's the other thing, fellas. If you know that that's how you want to move, right? You know that you love the women that you got right here, but you know that you're gonna want to be with other women. Make sure you're honest and upfront from the beginning. A lot of you niggas is fucking cowards, bro. Hey, keep track of my cuss count, because I see today we're gonna have one of them conversations that is gonna warrant a handful of cussing. A lot of you niggas is fucking cowards, bro. And you jump into relationships and you know that that's how you want to move, but you're too fucking scary to just tell the woman and be honest with her and let her know, like, hey, you know what? I don't think one woman is gonna be able to complete my appetite for, the remainder of my life. I may want more. You'd be surprised. There are some women that will accept that. And if she don't, pack up and move on and don't waste this woman's time. And you dragging women through the fucking mud. That's fucking stupid. And you cowardice. I'm gonna call it.
And like, real quick, like Quest said, they're gonna object. Some women are gonna be cool with it. Others are gonna object to it. They're gonna shred you up. Oh, what you waiting for? Nigga, you 45 years old. You waiting, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get shredded either way, but be honest, dog.
All right, so ladies, you can do all those things on that girl's list in that video, but please don't be fooled. There's no formula, there's no blueprint, there's no password, there's no recipe. It's no one you can choose to keep a man from cheating. Depending on how you carry yourself, appreciate the market value, can decrease the chances. But the only way is to ask the man, is there anything you can do, any actions you can take, any desires you can fulfill to keep him from cheating? Other than that, it's no other way. It's no other way.
Go ahead, Ms. Toya.
Yeah. Everybody made valid points. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. There's nothing that you can do to stop something like that from happening. You can be the best wife in the world. You could have you could be like 10 on a, marketplace. You could have everything that any man's heart can desire. But when it comes to cheating and infidelity, that's a mindset. It doesn't matter. He could have been the best mate when you met him, and everything could be amazing in your marriage. But we live in an imperfect world, and shit happens. And it's not to say that, if you're just perfect man, like there's really good men that have made very bad mistakes. And I'm pretty sure that they feel bad about the mistakes that they made. Let's use example Kobe Bryant, right? We heard about that one incident he had, and we ain't never heard about nothing else after that. He probably saw how much it affected his family and affected his, reputation, his image and everything. That's why I say, like, the only thing you can do in a marriage or in a relationship is just do what you do what you're supposed to do, complete your roles. But me as a married woman, I'm not out here thinking about if my husband is going to do something. I don't have time to think about stuff like that. That's not what I consume in my head. I love my husband to death. I hope that he loves me. I hope he respects our marriage as much as I respect our marriage, because that's how it goes. People are only going to respect what you respect. If you respect your marriage, people are going to respect it just as much as you do. So when it comes to cheating, there is nothing as a woman that I can do to stop my husband from cheating if that's something that he decides to do. All I'm going to do is complete my roles as a wife, carry myself as a wife in these streets or wherever I'm at, and hope to God and pray to God that my husband does the same. But no, there's not a blueprint. There's not a book. There's nothing to be like, oh, this is what every woman needs to read to make sure that her significant other doesn't cheat on her. That's not life. It doesn't work that way.
But, real quick, I feel like if Amber was here, she would say, she brought up that helicopter. Sometimes you got to, do some tricks in there too. You got to keep things interesting. You got to keep it fresh. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to show up with an outfit. If Mr. Logic was here, he'd say, sometimes you got to show up butt naked with a coat on or whatever it is. We'll say, that's what we doing.
But guess what? Every wife knows that. Every wife knows that how Betty Wright said, lady in the streets. Mm-hmm. Every wife knows that.
And you got to reinvent too. You can't even
that was ludicrous.
But guess even what? That freak from 20 years ago, you're gonna have to reinvent your
and guess what? Just like Quest said, me and my husband been married for 13 years. I am still sexually attracted to my husband the same way I was the first time I laid eyes on him. Nothing has changed. Nothing. So that's why I say all that goes in play with your roles as a wife. As a wife, I know that my husband is to be pleased. When he asks, I'm here. He's never turned down. Balls is drained, to be specific.
Smoke weed every day.
You see what I'm saying? I don't have to look like a freak on the inside to not be one when I need to be. I take care of my husband.
But so I feel like a lot of women aren't like that though. You know what I mean? A man may come ask to do something new.
I take these roles seriously, Kyle. I take these roles seriously.
What about that Creole voodoo or whatever y'all got down there? Spaghetti or something?
Don't start.
Don't about whatever it takes.
I'm not burying drawers in the background, and I'm not putting my cycle in my red sauce bruise. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Hey, well, here's something I do want to say to kind of get back on Lil Mama in the video. Is Kevin Samuels used to say all the time, single women keep women single. Now, I don't know that this particular woman is single, but the putting out this fear mongering type, these tactics, like all that's gonna do is scare women into jumping into relationships, because in their heads, all they're gonna be thinking, well, all these men just cheat anyways. All these men just cheat anyways. And like, she probably not even married to even to even have, or has not been married to even come up with these ideas. She probably pulled that from somebody else. And because that was her situation, she done pass it off to you. Now you finna just pass it off to your following now. Come on, man. We got to grow the fuck up, bro. We really do.
But see what I took from the video, and I mean, I could have been looking at it wrong, but I took from the video, she was saying all these things. And then at the end of the video, she made her face up as a clown. And what I took from that was saying, if you believe everything I'm saying, you're a clown. Like, because this is not true. This is not real life.
I don't think she believed what she was saying anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's all a bullshit ass big joke to her. Now, is she married or not? Like you said, Quest, we don't know. But to me, she just took it as a joke. And so, for all we know, man, she might be a lover of other women. Who knows, man? Just to be a goddamn clown and do some silly shit.
So I took it to the flip of that. I thought she was saying, if you're one of these women that's out here doing all these things to prevent a man from cheating, you're a clown. That's how I took it. And I think, just based off some of the comments that I saw in that video, because I think I saw that a couple of days ago or whatever, that's what I took from it. She was like, all you women out here that's doing this in order to prevent a man from cheating, y'all clowns. That's how I took that.
Oh, that's a good take, man. I like the two different perspectives, man.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, yeah.
it's dope. Yeah. I mean,
I
just
think
imagine
Toya frozen.
be able to have conversations
Toya,
like, yeah.
baby, we got. Hey, Jr. Can we get a GoFundMe started for Toya Internet, please, baby? We got to get you on a gig, more, baby.
Yeah. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna ask her husband permission to be able to talk with them about the internet speed they have. I don't think a lot of people even realize the speed that they have. They just take the first thing smoking, whatever's on sale. If you're gonna stream, it's very important that your megabytes per second is up there a little bit.
Hey.
If you got kids in the house playing PlayStations, Xbox, if you got the Roku or the Fire Stick, if you got that bootleg cable that you guys are streaming, it's pulling from that same internet connection. So if you raise up that number as high as it can go, especially if you do this full time, as high as it can go, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, a little breathing room to be able to stream on here without any issues. So
yeah, just go on and get you a gig. It's 2022. See, right now, the cost of a gig of internet is what internet used to cost you back 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. Like you want to be able to breathe.
Regular ass internet, slow internet.
Because if your shit is it's just like riding a car, it's like riding on E. You know, just let your shit breathe. If you keep that tank above half, the gas not gonna burn as quick. So anyhow, welcome back
life
to
lessons, baby. Life lessons.
Yeah, we were just giving a little bit of game, but we're gonna talk on the back end. With that being said, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Welcome to LAPEEF-ING Sundays.
Chat Ninjas Assemble!
I did send a special shout out to where's that person that I don't know. He was saying that the panel was dry, so I offered him an invitation to come up and strengthen us, wake us up, lighten us up. So, Sean, I know you know who it was. If he's in the chat, let me know when he's ready, and then we'll bring him up. You know,
I mean, hold on. Now, what we don't want is that Thursday energy. It's grown folk here.
Hey, you better bet this nigga right now, because I'm on go.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, I seen his comment. I just wanted to make sure I specifically addressed him to come up and show us what he got. Hey, it might turn into something good. Let's move on to our next topic. We're gonna talk about connections. Connections. What? We're going to talk about connections in regards to relationships. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. I know we talked about people cheating. So what if they had a stronger connection? Is there such thing as a connection? Let's go ahead and find out. There he is. Here we go.
Connection cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. It's either there or it's not. Wow. There's nothing you can do to build connection. You can build a stronger bond. You can create a stronger attachment to each other, but that still doesn't mean connection is there. You see this play out in situations where you have people who could meet each other right now, have this amazing connection. Something happens where they fall apart. They come back together years later, and it's like they never stop talking. It just falls right back into place. It's connection. It's a deeper thing that's occurring there. To me, connection is your spirit recognizing its match. It is something that is happening beneath the surface, which is why many people who have felt connection, you can't always explain it. Connection does not always line up with the logic of compatibility. It's just there. You just feel something with this person. You feel drawn to them. It's so much deeper than anything you've ever felt. Consider this. You can be compatible with tons of people. You do not feel connection with a bunch of people.
Let's talk about connection, man. I've heard this word being tossed around. Connection. It says connection cannot be created or destroyed. Let's go ahead and talk about thoughts about the video and your views on connection.
He was right. You know what I'm saying? I agree with him 100%. I think when it comes to compatibility versus connection, I think a lot of times it's that unexplainable feeling that you have with someone. You know, a lot of times people maybe sometimes confuse connection with like a convenient lifestyle with a person. But I think it's whether with friendships or in relationships, when you just feel I don't want to use the word connection to describe connection, but when you just have a deeper relatability with a person to where, you know, y'all find the same things funny, you have the same outlook on life, you kind of respond to life's obstacles kind of the same way spiritually, you know, it's hard to explain versus someone who, you know, just checks a bunch of boxes, in a, you know, in a application of being part of your lifestyle. You know, someone may, as far as relationship goes, someone may make enough money, and they may be the right height, and they might have the right background for you to where you'll go for it, but you may not really like that person at all. You know what I mean? In terms of their personality and whatever it is, you may not have any kind of desire to really sit down and be around them. They're just fitting a certain lifestyle that you like. Whereas you may be really connected to someone, you know, where you just want to be around them all the time. You find their conversation to be really stimulating. And, you know, you just have the same interest to where you just want to be around them all the time, but they don't really have anything to really add to your life as far as, you know, substance. So I think can be a complicated thing, but I definitely think that you cannot destroy connection. I mean, I have friends who I haven't spoken to in years, and as soon as we all get back together, it's like we never missed a beat. And there's other people who I will consider myself being friends with them. You know, I haven't really missed a day being their friend, but I don't really connect with them like that. Like, I'm not really thinking about them until I'm around them or whatever it is. So I think it's very true that you cannot destroy a connection no matter how much distance there is between you.
Quick question, Kyle. In terms of connection in a relationship, how do you think having a connection in a relationship would advance it in comparison to like compatibility, you know, sexually and mentally? Is there anything that a connection, you know, that you're speaking to would bring, or would you visually be able to see it in a relationship versus not?
I think you could definitely tell when two people are connected. You could just tell in their effort and their mannerisms towards each other, the vibe they have towards each other. You know, I think when two people are connected, they're willing to do more to keep their relationship together. They're willing to, you know, take more risks together. You know, these are the people who don't have the connection, end up divorced. You know, they're so easily ready to end the relationship because they really weren't connected. A lot of things may be matched up compatibility wise, but because there's no real, you know, connection of spirit, they can easily break that off. Whereas the people whose spirit are connected, you can just tell they can't quit each other, you know. And I think that when it's coming from a healthy place, that relationship is always going to show to people. I mean, you run into couples and you say, man, you could tell they really like each other. They really love each other. They've been together 20 years. And like Toya was speaking to, they've been together 20 years and they still kind of see each other as their best friend, see each other as their, you know, their lover and sexual mate. So you could just see how that can happen versus somebody who's, you know, maybe a celebrity who done been with 4, 5, 6, 10 different people. And, you know, all these people are probably compatible with that person, but they're not connected, which is why they're constantly in all these drama and turmoil relationships. So I think two people who are connected, they're always going to fight for each other. They're always going to find that common ground, find that positivity within their relationship and try to build on that.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. Whoever.
Go ahead.
No, what I was gonna say, answering the question, can connections be created or destroyed? I believe they can. I mean, it happens all the time when, especially in relationships. They're created or they can be just dissolved. I mean, unfortunately, I failed my marriage, and me and my ex-wife got divorced. So my connection with her, as far as a relationship, was destroyed. Our marriage was. Now, am I still in a good place with her where we cordial and talk and interact? Yeah. But as far as our relationship, our romantic relationship, no, it's destroyed due to certain things that happen. So, but can I create a new connection with somebody? Yes, I'm hoping I can, because one day I do want to get married again. And so I hope I can create that connection to find that right lady, you know, that I'm going to bless my last name with. So.
Well, Hank, could you make an argument that maybe she might not have been as connected to you as you might have thought, you know, like maybe, you know, is kind of unequally yoked in that regard? Like maybe you had a stronger connection to her than what you were getting back.
I might have been the other way around. To be honest, it might have been the other way around. I might not have been as connected to her compared to what she was to me. So I mean, and that could be true. That could be true. So, but you know,
because I just think something like that might show itself before you even get married. You know what I mean? Two people who, and in terms of what Jay was asking, can you see it? I think that you can see a couple and really be able to tell, you know, what their future is just based on how they interact with each other. So you could just tell when two people are together because, you know, they're getting older. They kind of have the same goals. They kind of have the same lifestyle. So they're going to, you know, people use the word settle, but so they settle for each other, but they're not really, you know, intimately connected spiritually and mentally like that, versus two other people who from jump, they just look like they're two best friends and inseparable. They got, you know, they got the same idea of the world. So, you know, they're going to be connected forever, regardless of, you know, what a marriage license or whatever may say. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
Let me give you another example is a connection. When I was growing up, I had some buddies, you know, some friends from school. And, you know, as we mature, you know, some people go in different directions. And somebody still want to do what they used to do and be out in the streets. Man, I can't do that no more. I got priorities. I got responsibilities. I got people who's dependent on me. I can't keep doing that. So I have to drop them connections. I have to destroy them connections with them individuals because it's not beneficial to me. Not in the long run. You know, it was cool to hang out with them every once in a while. But at the end of the day, I know there's going to take me down a path that I don't want to be down, that I don't want to go down. And I definitely don't want that to see my son or have my son see me doing those things because I want to stay connected with old friends. So those are connections that I had to let go. I had to dissolve.
If they wanted to come back, though, them same guys, like let's say they, you know, made some new decisions in their life and they say, you know, Hink, now I'm doing this and that, you know, I got a lady, whatever it is, you know, they could come. Would you allow them to come back into your life, or you'd be like, oh no, you know, I'm really not messing with him no more, you know, because if you allow them to come back, then there could be a connection there versus you like, oh, I'm probably better off without him, regardless of what he's doing.
If they show they truly change by their actions and not just their words, yes, I'm gonna give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? I will give them a chance. But if they show any signs of still not, you know, doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying, just on a different level of it, no, I can't. I can't do it. It's a bad investment, as I like to say.
Hold on, before anybody else go out, I just want you guys to pay attention to if you guys ever out as a couple, pay attention to other couples. And you would kind of notice if there's a connection. Most couples that you see, they just sitting there. They just exist and they're on their phones. There's no conversations going on. And you'll be surprised the next time you go out with your significant other, whoever it may be, just look around and just notice what's going on, like right in front of your eyes.
Me and Rosie look at that shit all the time. It don't matter where we at. We look at it. Yep. We watch it. I mean, it literally don't matter where we at, from the grocery store to sitting outside of the Cheesecake Factory. We literally sit outside on the patio at the Cheesecake Factory if we go in there or whatever, just so we can see all the traffic moving around because it's at the entrance to the mall. And we people watch. We looking at how everybody moving, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Particularly, we looking at Black people, right? We looking at Black women. We looking at Black couples, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of times there ain't no real connection. But we also look at white folks too. When it comes to couple stuff, I'm looking at white folks too and how they.
It's the same thing, though.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no.
Yeah, like you'll see the same thing. And if you have a connection, what you will notice is that you can see them looking at you, kind of wondering, like they're having a good old time. So either the woman or the guy may be looking like, damn, like, what the hell is going on here? Because it's not happening within their circle. So I don't even think people even realize what connection really is. And they haven't even thought about it. But it is something that would kind of make you think once you get there and you look at others like they look happy. Like they look happy, almost like they bitter. So just look around.
I'm glad you brought that up. Me and Rosie were just at the mall last week. And here in Tampa, like I told y'all before, when we go to the mall here in Tampa, the majority of Black women that we see, they are single with strollers, you know what I mean? No wedding rings, none of that type shit from what we normally see, right? And when we walk past them, so like it'll be like me on the outside, Rosie pushing the stroller on the inside. And as we passing by them, I can see from a distance, like women looking, and sometimes you can't tell whether or not they like on some, she thinks she, you know what I mean? Cause she got her husband and all that type of negative energy. Or it's like, damn, like, fuck, how I fuck my shit up? Like, why I can't have it? You know what I mean? So we see that all the time. And once we pass it, like, I elbow Rose, I be like, you see that? She was like, I saw it. It's crazy, man. Like the shit we be talking about on these panels, man, the things that we talk about on this panel, bro, like it's real. And when we say we want more for our women, that we really want, I want more for my women. Me and Rose talk about all the time that we wish Black women were not in the position that they in currently. I wish that all y'all could be like in the position that my wife is in, or in a position that Toya is in, or in a position that Chanel is in. I would love to see, I would love nothing more to be able to go into the mall or go in wherever it is we at and see Black families together. This past Easter, got a homeboy here, he like the Godfather Temp, if you ask me or whatever, but he puts on this big Easter event, Easter egg hunt for all the kids and stuff like that. So we support him on all the movements that him and his wife do. So me, Rosie, and Royce, we show up to the event or whatever, and we got our little chairs or whatever, and we just sitting back watching. We were one of maybe 3 families that were out there. That whole field was flooded full of baby mamas and children running around. No men present, bro. So when I tell you we want more for you, like we really want that. But you're right, JR. When we out and about, we see those looks. We see them.
And you know, some people do. You know, when they see y'all walking around, or when they see me and my wife and family walking around, I imagine that there's people, to your point, Hink, about connections being destroyed. Other people may try to come in and, you know, they want that connection you have with that woman so bad that they're coming in willing to break that up to, you know, get it for themselves, or they may be hating and they're just mad at their own situation that they want to come in and, you know, throw a wrench on your connection with your woman. So they want to come stir the pot up, or come and, you know, maybe get in your wife's ear, or your man's ear about something that is made up, you know what I mean? Some completely made up fact, or just something to mess that up. So I think when it comes to being destroyed, you know, maybe the time and distance can't destroy a connection, but people definitely want to come in between, you know, you and your significant other, or you and a friend. You know, you and your homeboy been friends 20 years, and then he get this new homie, and now you and that dude don't get together, you know, don't really get along, and now your whole vibe is messed up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of thing happens all the time.
You want to know something else that came in and destroyed that connection? What came in and destroyed that connection for us? Because we hear it all the time. Black folks was married at a significantly higher rate before the government came in and started incentivizing women to push niggas out the home. That connection started getting lost back then. Now, I don't want to dive into a whole nother fucking rabbit hole right now, but I mean, it's definitely something to be talked about, because we are where we are. We are that Easter egg hunt. We are in that position right now because of things like that. They allowed Black women, y'all allowed the government to come in here, infiltrate our connection that we had, and completely let it just completely dissolve, all for a little bit of green.
Yeah, I hear that.
Well, you know, let me say this, Jay. I know it's funny you said that. Talk about going to restaurants.
The ladies in there.
Okay.
I was just going to bounce off of what Quest was saying. There have been a lot of times where my husband and I were walking somewhere or at dinner, and women will literally go up to him, hit on him in front of my face. And I'm just like, okay, like, what are you trying to accomplish with that? And thank God for my husband being who he is. So we just laugh at it. But the fact of the matter is, there are women who actually try to do that, disregarding you as a woman completely. And to go off of what Hink was saying, yes, your connection can be destroyed due to infidelity, due to lack of communication. All of these certain things can destroy a connection, but they can be rebuilt. And I think they can be created. There are plenty of people who find romance in the office, where that may not have been the first person you wanted, or may not been the type of person that you have liked physically, but due to similar things that you work on together, maybe projects, maybe you build a connection off of music or art, you start to become fond of one another and build an overall connection. So I do believe connections can be built, but they also can be destroyed. So that's my opinion.
Go ahead, Miss Toy.
Yeah, I wanted to say, what I notice nowadays a lot is people think they have connections and they don't. With the whole like social media thing, right? People look at other people's lives and they want that. So what they do is they will rush into situations to make themselves appear like they are, equally yoked with someone, right? And I remember going to a wedding about 2 years ago, and a young lady was complimenting me and my husband on how we interact with each other. And she told me that we're such a happy couple. Now, she was a newlywed. She had been married only 3 months at this time. 3 months. If anybody should have been in freaking wedded bliss, it should have been her. Just after having a $50,000 wedding, needless to say, the marriage only lasted less than a year. So I think a lot of times what goes on is people do not go into a situation with a person understanding that if me and that person is compatible. Because if y'all are compatible, it should be easy to make an authentic connection. Now, of course, things can happen that can just, break the connection, cause some little trauma or whatnot. But these things can be restored, just like you guys said. But my question to the panel is this. Let's say you have family and friends that you love, you don't deal with closely, but do you consider still having a connection with them?
Nah.
I mean, that's tough. Like, kind of, the family blood connection is there, and so you, especially with extended family, you kind of rely on your parents a little bit to keep that fueled. But I don't know, when it comes to family, you feel connected to them through maybe your experiences and like how you grew up. But I think maybe the older you get, you maybe lose those connections because you didn't really have much in common with them other than the fact that that's your cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, that I feel like that's kind of tough.
I do think you should put extra effort to keeping your connections with family, because family is literally like, that's everything. Whether it's your family that you're married into or the family by blood, you should put that extra effort. If they didn't do anything severely horrible towards you, you should really put that extra effort to keep your family close or to stay connected to them, because that's all you've got. I don't see any way around that, honestly.
So I can agree with that, right? Like, I think connection, it's to keep maintaining a connection, like your actions have to be very intentional. So I know there's times I've been guilty of not being as intentional as I should be with family. A lot of that has to do with just like how my career went, and niggas was all across the world, and completely out of sight, out of mind, dealing with a whole bunch of other different things or whatever. But now I need to be, and this is me giving myself a check. Like, I need to be a lot more intentional about communicating with my family and things of that nature, right? It's not like I don't hate my family or anything like that, but am I as intentional? Am I like, hey, let me call and check on my boy? You know what I mean? Let me go check on my cousin. Let me go check on auntie. You know what I mean? She used to change my diapers, and now I don't even hit her up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I need to be a little bit more intentional. So
I do want to add on that too, because I think we live in this world where I think we have to understand that somebody has to be the bigger person at all times. And so part of like maintaining relationships is for somebody to overlook the relationship in its entirety, particularly with family and even some people that's close, to understand that they can't figure it out. There are some things that you can't change about your family members that you may not like. It could be your own mother, but the fact that she's your mother, I think you have to lead by example as far as setting some type of foundation. It may not be perfect, but at least you able to keep that relationship at a certain level so that it just doesn't completely drop off, because you can wake up the next morning and that person not be there. So what I like to do is, even though I may not be too fond of certain relationships, I like to take the high road, because what'll happen is that we'll keep going in circles of like no growth amongst people if somebody don't take the high road. So it's very important that, I mean, just be the bigger person. It's not going to hurt you in order to do that. I think a lot of people egos and pride and, man, fuck that. You got to get over that, because we're not going to never grow as people if we maintain that mentality.
I agree. I agree, JR. And just to continue on with that thought, my uncle, my family's from Trinidad. He raised me. He was the only man that gave me the male perspective and basically raised me. And his wife and my aunt, they passed away some few months ago. And those memories that I have with them are irreplaceable. And even though I'm grown now, married, have my own thing, I wish that I had even more time with them to tell them how appreciative I am for their guidance, their love. They were married, 40 years? They fought, they hated each other, they loved each other, but they stood by one another. They raised their children, put them through school. They're both successful engineers, top of Trinidad and Tobago. So to see that legacy happen through a connection, even in times when they were fighting and bickering and all of those things, something positive came from that. And we cannot afford to sever connections with people who love us, who care for us, and who've never done anything with malintent to keep us from growing. So we have to keep our family strong. If we believe in Black power and Black love, this is something that we have to do.
Well, I know all y'all got perfect families, and I understand that everybody's on this panel's family is perfect. They never did no wrong. I understand that. I can't say that. I had some shitty family members. My dad was one of them shitty family members. And I had to destroy my connection with him for a while. I had nothing to say to him. I had nothing to do with him for a long while because of how he treated me and my brother, how he was neglected. You know what I'm saying? And cast aside pretty much. Now, it took some time. It took a lot of coaching. It took some therapy, at least 2.5 years of therapy for me to get to a place where I was able to even have a conversation with him. Because then it got to the point where now I'm just being straight up selfish. And now he has grandkids. And it's not my kid's fault that my father wasn't the man he should have been towards me. So I had to find a way to get past that. And if it wasn't for my kids, I'd probably still be upset and bitter and angry at them to this day right now, if it wasn't for them. But I felt like he and my kids was both missing out on the opportunity. And it wasn't fair just because I was in my feelings about that. And I had to figure a way out to get past it. So.
Yeah, so pertaining to this topic, I look at it as chemistry when you talk about connection. You know what I'm saying? You know, something beyond just sex, you know, being able to have fun together, have some things in common to relate to one another, having similar tastes and things that interest you both. In my opinion, connection sounds like another way to say in love. You know, he stated and shouted, and shout out to Stefan Speaks. I think that's who that was. He stated that something happens where it falls apart, and then years later, you guys hit it off again, and it feels like, you know, you never broken apart. As far as relationships and marriage go, I teach grooms to not commit due to connection. You know, not to commit due to love, not to commit due to physical or emotional attractions. Instead, I teach grooms to, you know, the goal of bringing in, you know, your children in the world if you're going to marry. Commit to the role you're willing to take on in the relationship, you know, that aligns with what your partner's willing to accept, of course. And accept the role your significant other is willing to commit to in a relationship. So if along the way, you know, you manage to connect or even lose connection, your relationship will, you know, continue to thrive off of the commitment to your roles and the upbringing of your children.
All right. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley. Make sure you guys fill the Teej. That link is in the description. 30% off along with a free gift. Only way you're able to get that discount is if you click that link that is in the description. Shout out to the chat, man. I see you guys. The Green Gang is in heavy full effect. Salute to you guys. And if you're not part of the Green Gang, I don't know what your problem is, but salute to you guys as well. And everybody that's not participating in the chat. I know a lot of people choose not to, and they just listening, maybe at work, maybe working, driving. We appreciate you as well. With that being said, we're going to move on to our next topic. And notice how the topics align. We're going to speak about support, how women support their men. I'm going to play a clip for you guys to give you guys context. Here we go.
How you know your a woman is supportive when you down, when you're not as attractive, when you depressed, when you anxious, when your money slow down, when things get tight, when things get rough. Is she still supportive? Is she still your cheerleader? Now, I'm not saying expect your woman to be so turned on by you and super attracted and suck your dick like she was when you was up. I'm not saying that, but a supportive woman wouldn't kick you while you down, right? She wouldn't bring stress to you while you down. If your woman see you down and out, she see that things are rough, she's not going to add stress to you. She's going to be more feminine, more nurturing, more encouraging, more uplifting to get you back to where you need to be. Now, a woman ain't going to support you and your dick in the dirt forever, right? If she see that, you don't want to change. So use the support. When you see a woman that you have a supportive woman, you have to use that support so you can get back on your feet. Don't get complacent, because ain't nobody going to stay with nobody that's just want to be on the bottom.
I think one of the important things that stuck out to me was him saying that if you have a woman that's supportive, you not to just lean on it. Like, I don't like to ask for help. I really don't. I like to try to figure things out on my own. I think the whole ATL show was when I realized I need to rely on the help, because there were some things that I missed that I wasn't as sharp on because I kept trying to take on the task of doing it all. So when you have somebody that's in your corner that's supportive, it's okay to lean on it. And we talked about the ego and the pride, because that's what I'm like. I can do it. I don't need no help. But it's okay to lean on it, but you just can't lean on that shit forever. So if you do get a little help here and there, take it, understand, learn. Maybe you might learn something from it and apply it to whatever it is that you got going on, and then you keep it moving. But you can't stay down. If your woman sees you in a slump, so to speak, and hopefully you don't get there, you got to understand what time it is. Because I mean, we human, right? And everybody don't think the same. So sometimes you may fall off, not everything, but you may be in a down spot. But it's important for you to understand how to get back up out of that hole. So don't rely on the help. Understand what the help is doing, and then learn a better way to apply it to whatever it is you're doing. But go ahead, let's speak on it. Is your woman truly supportive?
Hell yeah, my woman truly supportive. My bad, Jay, you about to go? So hell yeah, my woman truly supportive, bro. I'm juggling a couple different things right now, and I would not be able to do that shit at all if I didn't have somebody that was able to support, you know what I mean, who supported me truly, you know what I mean? It's times where I may have to leave out, go to a meeting, and because the people that I'm in this business meeting with, because they all have additional business ventures going on or whatever, like we only can meet. Like I just had a meeting in St. Petersburg for this new project, and we couldn't meet until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. That shit roll all the way until 11. Then my boy drive out there and we come back or whatever. And it's like, damn, like late as hell. I come into the house, my wife nice and up, chilling, waiting on me to come back. How was the meeting? I'm like, I run down the whole deal with the meeting, what's going on or whatever. And she was like, man, you good? I'm like, how was Royce? He was like, oh, he was chilling, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Like that type of shit. Like your household is still in order when you come back. If I had to leave, or when I was in the military, right, and I was on Afghanistan rotations, or not Afghanistan, excuse me, because I after I got married, I was still doing rotations to like Yemen and places like that, you know what I mean, Tajikistan. I come back, my household is still in order. She understands what I'm out here trying to do. She understands what I'm trying to achieve. And she knows I need peace of mind when I'm out here in this fucking world. So when I come back home, everything is squared away. There ain't nothing out of place. There ain't a dollar that's like out of place. A pillow ain't out of place. Like the household is still functioning as it was before I left. So I'll tell you, fellas, this is why we always say vet these women. You got to put them through a serious vetting process to find out if they even made and built to be able to truly be supportive. Because that shit sound cool. It sound cute. Oh, I support my man. Until them fucking Louis Vuitton bags ain't coming in right now. Until them Chanel shoes ain't coming in right now. How supportive are you then? This is what the dude was talking about in the video. How supportive are you then? Because it's easy to support when you up. Easy. But when that real struggle come in, that real struggle hit hard on your family, them finances, which is one of the top, I'm not gonna say the reason, but one of the top reasons that marriages dissolve is finances. Like when them things start hitting your finances, man, that struggle is real. And that's when we truly get to see that character. Fellas, y'all better vet these women properly, bro.
Hold on for anybody.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add on to what you were saying, because even when we having this conversation now, we talking about when you fall. Like I've witnessed where even when you was up, because maybe you haven't fallen off, maybe you just like slip a little bit, but you still maintaining like whatever success you have or whatever investments you have. But there are women, and I rarely seen it, but I recently seen it. There are women that will support you even while you were up. And I think that's the part, like it's almost unbelievable, because you may have a vision and they've bought into the vision, and then you see them adding to it. So it doesn't necessarily have to come when you're down, but the fact that they're supporting you even while you up, I think it says a lot as well. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that in there because I think I don't even think people even experience a lot of support. Because I was one of those people that haven't seen, that really didn't have that much support. Usually when you're dealing with women, it's all about them. It's all about what they're going to get. But when somebody truly supports you, that shit hit a little different, just like femininity. A lot of women, they don't have that. But when you meet somebody or when you experience it, it's like, damn, like I never seen this shit before. And I've often talked about that because my mother was masculine. And I'm here to tell you that shit. She was masculine all day. She would run away all the men. They wouldn't stay for that shit. Like my father's Nigerian, and some Nigerians can be controlling. And I believe my father had like different women, right? So he couldn't tame my mother. My mother had a mouth on her ass. You can't tell me shit. I ain't doing that. She was all that. I don't know who you think you are. But that was her character before he even met her. He probably talked to her because she was a red bone, right? But it didn't work out. So he moved on to the next, and it is what it is. I didn't realize none of that until I got a little bit older, like the importance of being able to keep a man. If you can't be tamed, if you just got that mouth, you uncontrollable, you're going to do what you want to do and not respect the authority of a man, a good man at that, because it's not a lot of good men out here. So you can keep on hopping around all you want. It's not a lot of good men out. They out there, but it's not a lot. The odds are slim. And I don't have the stats in front of me, so don't ask me for the damn stats. But just visually from what I've seen, based off my experience, you'd be damned to find a guy like Quest, a guy like Cal, Bruiser, Hink. These men, and especially a man that has the will to be able to grow, because some men may have did some fucked up shit, right? But then you got some men that want to correct their behavior. I don't think nobody in here is perfect. I don't think nobody on this panel can honestly sit here and say that they haven't sinned, but they Jesus. We all did some fucked up shit, but the importance of having these conversations is being able to evolve and understand where you may have messed up at, as Hink hinted earlier.
Hey, I did want to say one more thing, and I'm gonna hand it over real quick.
Right.
You gotta value your support too, men. When you are supported, make sure you show and you're reinforcing to your woman that has supported you through these trials and tribulations, baby, thank you so much for supporting me. Even when I was down, thank you for supporting me. Like, and helping getting me back to where I was, right? And making sure that the household was still in order. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for all these things, man. We can't shit on the people that support us. And when I even say shit, I mean just completely take it for granted. Because I think that's kind of shitting on it too. When you take it for granted and you don't show how reinforce how important their role is, that supportive role, I know fuck would they want to support you, bro? Why would anybody want to support you if you done took advantage of that? So I just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's last, and I promise I don't talk too often. So you have to understand people. So like some people just want to be acknowledged, or some people just want to know that you acknowledge the things that they've done for you or the things that they contribute to the help. They just want to hear it. Like a lot of times we walk around and we don't thank the people that have helped put us in different positions, that has helped make us an extra 50 grand in the company, that has been in the corner when I was down and I climbed out. So sometimes you have to let them people know, like, thank you. Hey, I appreciate you. You know what? If it wasn't for you, the words go a long way. So like Quest was saying, when you get some help, some support, acknowledge that you appreciate them. But go ahead, I'm done.
Well, I had a quick question based on something that Quest said. And this is just a general question to the whole panel, but Quest, if you want to respond, because it's based on what you said. When your wife is like keeping the home in order, do you think there's a difference between, when it comes to support, like taking stress, like staying out of your way, you know what I mean, versus actively doing something for you? You know, like it's one thing to, hey, I'm working on a project, you know, let me bounce this idea off of you, versus you come home and everything's in order, but nothing's really done for you. You know what I mean? Do you think there's a difference in that, or do you think it's all just relative to maybe what you need? Just what do you think about that?
So I think your woman's supposed to know you. She, like my wife knows what I need. She knows those actions that I need that I find to be supportive, right? Like if I'm over here working on a fucking project or some shit like that, or I'm on the phone or whatever, she know that means, all right, let me pick Royce up and take this nigga to the back room because I know he about to pipe the fuck up. Or if I'm on the show, for example, right? Because all these things are means to an end, right? If I'm on the show, right, and she understands, all right, it's daddy time, let me pack him up and take him. Now, she knows sometimes I want him to come out here and chill, and he put a smile on my face, put me in better mood, da-da-da-da. But she understands that when I come home, or while I'm in, you know, on a deployment or something like that, and I'm across the world and I'm be gone for like 100 days or some shit like that, when I come back, like, I just want the house to be peaceful. She knows. So I think it's your woman's job to learn your man or learn their men in order to find out what exactly he needs as support. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. I mean, you did. I'm curious now, based on that, Chanel and Toya, what y'all think about that? Just learning what supportive means to your man and executing that. What are y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I think pretty much like what Quest was saying, you have to know your significant other. So just as something as like just for something as simple as like I work from home, right? So if I wanted to just work in my bed all day, I could. But when my husband comes home from work, he loves to walk into the bedroom and see the bed made up. It's something so small, but it's so major to him. So I make sure before he come home, I don't give a damn if I run in there at 2:50 and he getting home at 3. That bed gonna be made up before he walked through that door. Because that in itself is something that's making him mentally, like that does something for him. So I think as a wife, as a even if you're not married, right, you're still dating, you have to learn, and that's why compatibility comes in, because you have to be willing to do things that you know is gonna please this person. So I know for me, I do things and I learn. My husband, I sit back and listen to him to see, you know what ticks them off, what don't tick them off. Like my husband is not argumentative. So if we having a discussion about something and he don't want to talk about it anymore, I, walk off, because I don't want to put him in a place where I'm pulling him out of how he normally is. And I feel as women, I feel like we have to know that being supportive comes in different ways. It's not always just looking cute and, being extra nasty. It's other things that comes along with being supportive for your man. And just like Quest and JR was saying, it could be being there for someone while they're down, also having, being someone for their vision. If they put out a whole vision board and they're like, this is what I'm looking forward to do, being there to support them. Like, I can see you through this. I'm here with you to go through this process with you as well. So there's always highs and lows in life, but it's just knowing how to be supportive for your significant other, because that, especially with men, I feel like as wives, like we should be.
Damn.
Cooking too.
It was just
what I was going to say about being supportive. Man, there's nothing like for you to have an individual who's going to be there and is going to support you and uplift you and encourage you, especially when when you're gonna because there's men I know, a lot of you guys are perfect and y'all don't never go through some down and challenging times, but there's going to be some times where you question yourself, you challenge yourself, you disappointed in yourself. All of those things, men, we go through that type shit. And guess what? If you have somebody who's there to support you and uplift you and encourage you, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as you think. You can do it. And it's and there with encouraging words. And look, ladies, tell your man, I need you. I want you and I love you. Those are the most encouraging words you could tell a man. That man will run through a goddamn wall for your ass. He will go to the ends of the earth for you if you're that encouraging, uplifting, pleasant, peaceful woman. They will. I promise you. You won't have to worry about him cheating. That won't be a problem. You know why? Because he knows when I come home, I'm coming home to peace. I'm coming home to a hot meal. I'm coming home to a clean kitchen. I'm coming home to a made-up bed. Shout out to Tori's husband. You coming home to all of that. Because that's what you're going to bring. That support system is going to bring for you. No man wants to come home to chaos. He really doesn't. He had to deal with that 8+ hours at work. Why the hell do I need to come home and deal with my second 8 hours of the day at home dealing with that? We don't. So be the support that every man needs, and I promise that man's going to support you to the end of the earth. I promise you, ladies.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Speak on that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to add on to what Toya was saying so beautifully. I'm a newlywed, so for our first few months, I was like, okay, we're living together. What do I do now? And it took some time, and I'm still learning now. But my husband, he has a very demanding career. He goes into work. He works from home. Sometimes, we're in the middle of like watching a movie together, and then he has to take a quick phone call and stuff like that. So this is such a different world for me, and I have to find where I fit in, where I could help him. And what I've noticed is, making sure I could give him his food while he's on the computer, or just being there if he's like stressed out from a phone call or a meeting or something like that. And that helps a lot. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe something so simple can make him feel so good, and also, just having a stressful day and having a quiet, peaceful place to come home to. Sometimes I'm just like so excited to see him come home, and he's just like, you're all happy and smiling, like, and I'm just like, because I'm happy to see you. And also another thing about being supportive, if you don't actually love the person that you're with, what they provide for you is going to be the only thing that you care about. Now, that's not to say that your husband shouldn't provide for you, obviously. However, if you're only in it for the provision, if that provision stalls or stops, then your love or care would stop. And I think that's a big issue with some women today. It's that they look at the dollar signs, or they look at the height, or the popularity or what have you, and they're stuck on that. And if that were to stop or end or health go down, then things will actually change. But if you actually care and love the person that you're with, you will automatically support them because that's the person that you want to be with and that's the person you want to see grow, whether in their career, spiritually, financially, what have you.
All right, we're gonna get the bruisers, and then Jay gonna take us home on this one. Go ahead, bruiser.
Okay, so is your woman truly supportive? Yes, my woman is truly supportive. But don't be misunderstood, fellas. Women are only supportive to the supporter, meaning women support in return. You know, women help strengthen the pillars that gives the man the ability to bring supportive resources into the family. Women recognize that men have this ability. Women recognize that men have this superpower. You know, she'll go the distance with you because of this. And if that isn't happening, there's nothing to support. You know, women do not support a non-provider. So fellas, when you're on your purpose, she will support you. When you're off your purpose, when you're not providing, when your ambition is no more, when your drive is gone, then she typically won't support you.
Jay, go ahead, take us home. Appreciate that, bruiser, that perspective. You set a gem in there.
Absolutely, yo. Shit, iron the cape, yo. But if you ain't flying, though, you gonna have a wrinkled cape, yo. But I mean, I think there was a time when we knew each other, you know, just as a culture, when men were aware what women went through, and when a man walked out the door, the woman knew what he was going through out there, you know, just in the world as a black man. There was an understanding. So when they came home, they were accommodated as such. You know what I mean? But it's like now we're in a state of the competition. You know, now it's like the women have been made to be the thing that we're out there fighting against. You know what I mean? It's either competitive or it's a battle. You know what I mean? And then you have people in relationships that come home and they're fighting in the house as well. You know, that's why you got a lot of dudes that pull up in the driveway and sit in the car and listen to the radio for 2 hours, 3 hours, smoke a cigarette, play on their phone. You know, they don't even want to go in the house, yo. You know what I mean? So support, I mean, it's a funny thing. I agree with everything y'all said in terms of support, but I think what JR said was most important is in terms of we have to be able to receive support. You know, and based on how you were raised and what values and ideologies you were raised on, as far as being a man and being, you know, that came with a lot of stubbornness, where that help was offered, but you don't want to take it. And, you know, I'm a man. I don't want them to see me sweat. I don't want them to see me down, you know, so you don't voice the support that you need. You know what I'm saying? I think part of growth is being able to say, yeah, I need help, dog. You know, to man or woman, to whether it's your friend or whether it's someone that you're in a relationship with. Because I've been in a relationship where, you know, I've been the person providing, you know, and the person just, when I was down and I needed them, they just bought me more fires to put out. And I'm like, I gotta get the hell out of this relationship. But then I was in a relationship with a person where I was down and the person was up, and I didn't even know how to say, help me. Like, yo, I need help, you know, because it was just pride, you know. So we have to grow within ourselves to be able to accept that help, yo, because it would make a world of difference.
Say that shit one more time. Part of growth is accepting help. That what you said, right?
Yeah. Yep. Part of growth is being able to say, yo, I need help.
I need help. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And us women want to be that help for you men. That's literally our role. We want to do that. So when you do build up that courage and get to that point, it is that's where the connection comes. That it is so beautiful when I can be that helpmeet for my husband in the time that he sees himself as weak. And I personally don't see that as a man being weak, but I know that you men have your own way of thinking. But in that very moment, that connection has been built, in my opinion.
And go ahead, Quest.
Oh, I was going. Oh, go ahead.
So, like, I asked Jay to say that again, right? And if the shoe fit, wear it. If it don't, let it fly, whatever. But it's dudes that are out here right now that have things going on, and that growth is stagnant because they are not asking for help. They're not willing to go and pay for help or things of that nature. If you want to grow, you got to bring on help. You got to be accepting and willing. You got to swallow your fucking pride and accept help to come in to take whatever it is that you got going on to the next level. Jay, I'm telling you, you couldn't be more fucking on point right now with that statement, dog.
Go ahead, Bruce, and then we're going to move on.
No, I was just going to respond to Chanel. I know she said that they want to be a help, but I mean, if you look at today, man, all these marriages, divorces, the man can be the greatest of all time in something he do and provide legacy for his children, his children's children, on down the line. I think it's safe to say that the help that a woman has is conditioned on something that I'm still trying to figure out. But you can do all these things, man, and the help, I mean, it's not like a guarantee, which is kind of sucks. But that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, Chanel.
No, I was just gonna say that's where picking the right woman comes in, because I know for me that's not how I see it, and I know a lot of men have suffered, so I'm not gonna take away from men suffering in that aspect. But picking the right woman is such a huge key. It has to be.
I just honestly don't think there's just not a right person you pick. You just negotiate, you come to an agreement, and you accept your roles. You accept, you build expectations. That way you don't have to compromise down the line. You can forget about trying to change who you are, change yourself, change your career, change your weight, find somebody who's willing to accept you for who you are. You know what I'm saying? Right then. But as far as the right person, there's nobody walking around with a sign or a blueprint revealing, oh, I'm the right person for you. I'm the DNA that fits in the slots that you want me to fill. You know what I'm saying? You vet people out, of course, but you can, I mean, like, if you look at Steph Curry and Aisha, I think it was one point she said she needed more attention or some shit. Like, I mean, you can give a woman the world. That's why I say happiness is something that women use. They fluctuate that on their feelings. When their feelings change, you know what I'm saying, you're still gonna be scraping to try to see if you can fulfill her happiness again. It's just it's an unquenchable thirst. So I'm just warning men out there today that, ain't nothing guaranteed, man. The way society is, the way the policies are, you can't be too sure. It's not a sure thing. And you just gotta be willing to live.
With all due respect, we're not talking about happiness. We're talking about helping your man through a struggling time or supporting your man through something.
But it has something to do. Okay, if a woman is not happy, she ain't gonna help you no more.
But that's why we talk about vetting who it is. You're talking about negotiating with fucking terrorists is what you're talking about right now. You're talking about negotiating.
So you said Tia Mowry was a terrorist.
You said what?
So Tia Mowry was a terrorist.
I don't know what you're talking about right now, Bruce.
You know who Tia Mowry is?
Why is this random arbitrary person you just throwing out here?
She's not random at all.
That's the point that's getting.
I'm talking about to the conversation. Hold on. I'm talking about to the conversation. Tia Mowry is a random person that you just pulled out of thin air to this conversation. How does she apply?
Well, you said negotiating with terrorists. I'm saying you can have a woman that you don't expect to be a terrorist, and things still fall apart. You can put in 14 years with a woman, and you don't expect her. You don't look at her. You vet her. She's not a terrorist. What I'm saying is this possibility that women can become terrorists.
True.
That's all I'm saying. And if
so
women can become terrorists, how do you know who is who in the beginning? How do you know who is and who ain't? You get what I'm saying?
We can compare to the first point we were talking about cheating. How do you know? So should we live in this big old fear? Should we live in this, oh, she's going to become a terrorist, so I can't be with her? Or, oh, he's going to cheat, so I can't be with him. Should we live in that fear mindset, or should we try to put
I thought I answered that question specifically by having a conversation with the man and asking him, is there anything I can do?
And
is there anything I can do to prevent you from doing that?
When I said,
and then I said, hold on, and then I stated, it depends on, you know what I'm saying, how you appreciate your value, how you appreciate, if you're aware of your market value, if you're aware of your sexual market value, if you're aware of the type of guy you're dating 1% and you expecting sexual loyalty and all this cheating and shit, or you monogamy, then you in for a ride. That's all I was saying.
But in your previous point, you were talking about you should have a discussion and negotiate. So even if I'm married to a millionaire man and our previous discussion was we're monogamous, if he changes his mind, that's still wrong, right?
I didn't say it wasn't right.
Okay.
We were talking about how can you keep a man from cheating? And I said, no. I said, the only thing you can do is ask a man, what is it can you do to minimize the chances of it happening or to prevent it? All you can do is ask. And if he answers, depending on how he answers, that'll give you enough information on whether you want to move forward with this guy or not. Because some guys are afraid up front. If I make 7 figures, if I'm the 1%, and I come into a relationship and she said, what do I got to do to keep you from cheating on me? I'm like, there's nothing you can do.
I'm a little confused about your point.
Or I would tell you there's things you could do. You know what I'm saying? There's just 2 options. But it's all under the strength of what the man is willing to get, the information he give you for you to thrive off of.
I agree with you on that. But my point was, when you go to your wife to ask for help, in that moment, we feel strength because we are getting to fulfill our role. But your rebuttal was, women don't do that. And I can agree with you at a certain extent, but men have to vet those women. But you're saying that, they're gonna just become a terrorist. They're just gonna become a terrorist.
I think you misunderstand what I'm saying. And I'm saying a women support a supporter. If you're no longer supporting her, she don't have anything to support. And oftentimes she'll vacate the situation. That's why you have this high divorce rate. Women are in it for what they can get out of it. And if they're not getting out what they want out of it, they'll be gone. It don't matter if you give her millions and millions of dollars. It don't matter if you give her the world. It don't matter if you give her all these children, all these things. It don't matter if you're great. A woman will still decide to leave you if she's unhappy. That's all I'm saying.
That's not a woman, Bruiser. That's more of just like an immature lady. Because I think
we got a whole lot of them then.
Yeah, we do. But I'm speaking from experience because my husband was working and he wound up losing like a whole bunch of money, like with his job at one time. But was things a little hard and tight for us? Yes, but it never crossed my mind to leave my husband. And I'm not saying that it's not like uncommon for these things to go on, but that's when you're dealing with women that's dealing with men and they have motives. The only reason why I'm with my husband is because I love him, not because of what he can do for me financially. I'm with him because I want to be with him and I'm in love with him. But the
only reason why I made that statement because it's common enough to make a statement to men to make them aware that, hey, look, it's not a sure thing. It's not guaranteed. These things can happen. So make sure you keep that in your mind. That's why we teach now. We actually switched up what we teach. We teach men today in society, prenup automatically. Just because it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, but I think
I want to jump.
I don't see anything. I'm sorry, Quest. I don't see anything wrong with prenuptial agreements because I feel like this. Whatever you had prior to us getting together is not mine to touch. And I'm the type of person, God forbid, like I was never like when I broke up with somebody, I never touched their shit. I was never one of those women to flatten tires, bleach clothes, like all that kind of crazy ass mess. I never did none of that kind of stuff. So I don't see anything wrong with guys going into a marriage. And if a prenup is needed, get it. And if she don't respect it, leave her ass alone, because that right there is a selfish sign. If you cannot respect the fact that I'm asking for a prenuptial agreement, I feel like that's selfish because it's not yours to begin with. But secondly, I feel like people should not go into marriages in fear. I didn't go into my marriage with my husband thinking about, oh, what if and what if and what if. That's like going into a freaking pregnancy and like, what if you just don't know what's going to happen.
That goes back to the connection conversation. That goes back to the thing about connections.
Yeah, I know Quest been trying to get in. So
yeah, go ahead. I'm just saying.
Right. Because this whole prenuptial conversation is for the most part, is bullshit because most of you niggas don't have shit. Okay? Prenuptial agreements is for men that have things, that have assets.
No, it's not.
Cut it out. Stop the cap, bro.
No, it's not.
We're not talking about you, Bruiser, because we know you got some stuff.
But I'm saying it's not only for what people don't have. It's also for what people who don't have things.
Like what?
It's also to ensure that the person get a fair ride when they get out of the relationship, out of the marriage. It protects a person going in with nothing as well as it do a person going in with something. It does. It just does.
Either way, for the majority of you niggas, bro, like I'm gonna just keep it honest with y'all. The majority of y'all, and the stats suggest that. So chat ninjas don't come for me, bro. The stats suggest that the majority of y'all don't have a goddamn thing, right? Y'all just don't. The average income for a black man is what, $42,000 a year, right? What assets and things of that nature are coming with that? Then when, God forbid, your shit dissolves, you didn't come in with nothing, you're leaving out with nothing. That's average America we talking about. Okay? So this whole prenuptial, that's for niggas who have things. We like to keep the conversation general across the board so we can speak to the masses. Okay? The other thing is, I can't just let you just zip past what you said earlier, Bruiser, when you were saying, oh, find somebody where you can just be who you are, who's going to accept you for who you are. That's what it was. Find somebody who's going to accept you for who you are, because what that does is that absolves anybody from progression. Find somebody who's going to accept you at fucking 300 fucking pounds. Get your ass on the fucking treadmill and get this shit off. That way you can be more appealing to the masses. No, we're absolving people. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men too. Find somebody who just who will accept you where you are. Flipping burgers at Burger King. No, what we should be teaching is get your ass out here, get on your grind, and go out here and get it. I'm not suggesting you need to go out here and be Bill Gates, but I am suggesting that you need to be out here trying to go get something to be able to support a fucking household if that's what you want. We cannot absolve our people from progressing. I think that. I'm sorry, Bruiser, but that's my pushback on that, dog.
You can have pushback on it. Only thing I was saying, it ain't nothing about going into a relationship with fear. It's about going into a relationship or a marriage with awareness, aware of how things are today, aware about the reality. You can go ahead and practice love and connection and all that bullshit you want. But at the end of the day, when a woman makes her mind up to bounce, and if you ain't got your affairs in order, if you ain't got your shit straight, and if you ain't aware of how things are with policies, you can get fucked up. And that's all I teach, man. That's it.
Yeah, but think about it. If you don't already know it, you already in trouble anyway.
There's a lot of men that don't know it. Look at the community.
Yeah, but you already
think the community is like this because we aware of it?
You should know it because you got eyes, you got ears, you see the shit.
That's not what the results show.
The results show it. If the results show
that we are unaware, that we don't know. That's why we sitting here on the Lapeef Network having conversations like this.
That's
so
what
other
we claim.
People can know.
That's what we claim. I don't know. We see it. We see what's happening.
I got 18 episodes full of people who come on the panel and they don't know these things. I'm going on episode 19 Tuesday.
They can act naive if they want to. They can act naive if they want to. But we know what's going on. We know there's a marriage rate is 8% done by the ladies or filing for divorce. We know this. We see this. But yet we still take the chances. Well, you got to go in and prepare mentally and emotionally and physically what's going to happen. Or could happen, yeah. So if you decide between you and your spouse, y'all want a prenup, then that's on y'all. That's on y'all. Now, to me, I'm thinking prenup, I'm already preparing myself for an exit. So why would I do that? I'm not going there with a negative mindset thinking, hey, I got an exit plan regardless if this thing works. So I'm already going there with a negative thought, negative mindset, already prepared to be on the way out. Got a backdoor plan. So
but that's not what it is. It's not a backdoor plan.
She got a rainy day fund. How can we get mad if a woman says she got a rainy day fund, but we got a prenup? You can't.
But the prenup is both of you have the prenup. Not one person just not having the prenup. I don't think y'all. I think we might have to have I think JR might have to have a time where we talk about what a prenup actually is. Because I think we got a misunderstanding.
But I'm not going there with that mindset of, oh man, I gotta have a prenup because I don't want her to take what I had before I got married to her. Look her, she's gonna be entitled to whatever we develop together.
But you're famous for the words protect yourself at all times. And what you saying right now is totally against what you be preaching.
No, it's not, Bruiser. I'm not. I'm talking, but when I tell you to protect yourself at all times, there's more than just financial protection. I'm talking about your physical protection, your mental protection. That's what I'm talking about. You got to protect yourself at all times. But that's a totally different thing. When you're going out with a prenup, we got to realize we're losing everything we're going to develop, create together once we get married. We understand that, right? So most of the time, these guys ain't coming on their purpose. Most of these guys they're developing their purpose while they're in a relationship. Now,
but that's what we. That's
what. These guys are not already on their purpose. And most of these guys are not getting married, especially if we're telling these guys to get married early and young.
Yeah,
they're not. So
you
saying
not to talk about
most guys out here are on their purpose at the age of 25. They're not. They're not. Most of them not even on their purpose at 30, let alone 25. So it's usually when they start getting on their purpose, they're probably 30 to 35. But by then, they already probably about 2 or 3 years into marriage. And whatever assets they develop with their wife's going to be entitled to.
All right. Interesting dialogue there. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to LAPEEF-ING Sundays. Make sure you get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got a couple super chats came through. Andre Lewis, $2. Bad family members as well. I love from distance. Salute to you for that super chat. We have Nathaniel. Nathaniel. There you go. Downs, $20. Love the channel and love the conversations.
Hey, nigga, hit that what?
That boy said Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, my brother.
Appreciate that. There you go. Susie says great combo. It's not a super chat, but I've been seeing you interact in the chat. Shout out to the sponsor again, Tej Hanley. Make sure you guys fill the Tej, 30% off along with a free gift. And they got some great shit over there, Tej, man. I got this lip balm. You guys can see that. There we go. That lip balm right there.
Hey, man, I don't want to hear nothing else about Tej Hanley until you send me my box, dog.
Okay. Send me what to Hey, send me a text, man. I got plenty of boxes. Send me a text, and I'll make sure I get you a box, man.
I did that already, JR.
Well, it probably got lost up there, so just resend it, and I'll make sure I get it out there tomorrow.
That's right.
Don't.
It's on that boat from China, baby. That's what it is.
All right, it's time to get to the meat of the conversation, and we know the ladies like the meat. Chanel, don't smile too hard. I mean, I know it's.
Dang.
Hey, look, she glowing too. She either prior to or after.
I had a great European tour. Okay.
Yeah. So since we know the ladies like the meat, we are at the meat. Never date a woman based on her potential. And according to Quest, they like the box too. So they not only like the meat, but they like the box as well. I know you frown upon, but some people do. I mean, don't discriminate, don't shame. We don't do no shaming over here. So,
no shame.
Yeah. So let me in the box. Anyhow, let me go ahead and play this video for a little bit of context. Hit that like button if you haven't already, family. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get this started.
With women based on their reality and not their potential. Most guys, they see a woman and they treat her based on all the things that she can be, right? And they don't treat her based on who she is in that moment. When women show you who they are, you treat them accordingly because that's what they want. A woman is going to the way a woman presents herself to you is how she want to be treated. Period. Stop trying to put lipstick on a pig. You understand? Because they're going to resent you for it. But what happens is when you take somebody out of their element by force or by coercion or by manipulation and they catch on to it, they start to resent you, right? You start to make them sick. They start to rebel against that. You understand what I'm saying? You never want to get caught up in that. And that's what happens when you date a woman's potential instead of her performance.
All right. Never date a woman based on her potential. This is the meat. Let's talk.
So I agree with don't date a woman on potential. Now I already know for a fact the ladies in the chat gonna be like, "Well, we ain't supposed to be dating niggas on potential." Da 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 da. We are different, clearly, right? The reason why I say we don't date a woman on potential, date her as they are currently, is because depending on how she was raised, she should be these things early. She should be set up and groomed to be a wife early. She's going to know these things young. But there are women out here that think, well, you know, we grow as women too, da 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 da. And how many aunties we got right now that understand the game now, that's single as fuck right now. Y'all age different than we do. And when I say that, I mean men, as we get older and as we move on, we get more and more respectable. We get more and more financially stable, literate, successful, so on and so forth, right? Which we know, we talk about it all the time. We know that is our inherent value to you all ladies. But you all, on the flip, lose your value as you age. So if I was to date a woman on potential of what she could eventually be, this great woman to me or whatever, but like all your youth is gone. All the real value that you possess is starting to flee the building. It's starting to leave the building. And we want you young with these things. Do you think, and this is, I'm talking to the chat right now. Do you think Toya just learned how to be a woman right now or recently? Or do you think she knew these things from a young age, regardless of where she got it from? And this is an assumption. I only know Toya from being on the panel, but I know, I feel that shit deep inside me that Toya has been how Toya is right now. She been like that since way before she met her husband. Toya, am I wrong? Right. Chanel, I'm gonna venture to say the same thing about you. Have you been like this, or were these things and ideas that you learned later on in life? Say that again.
I've learned more now, but I've been pretty much who I am my whole life.
Right. So, fellas, if you do go out here and, so I'm not suggesting that you don't, but here's the things that's gonna come along with it if you're dating off of potential. You start off with a woman who you think has the potential to be this great woman to you and to your household and be a great mother and be a great wife or whatever, but that shit takes time. And when she gets to that point, what all has happened in this relationship leading up to it? Has been drug all over the place and drama and no household with peace and all these different things in order, because you waiting on when she turned like 36 years old in order to get that peace. It's coming. We gonna get the peace eventually. I think she's getting there. But now you ain't got kids. Ain't nobody trying to have no kids with a woman that ain't presently ready to be a wife or presently ready to be a mother and things of that nature. Right? So understand what's going to come with that. Date the woman, or date a woman that is in that position now. Like my wife was groomed to be a wife. I say this shit all the fucking time and I always pipe her up. She was groomed because her mama and her daddy, she was raised in a household with both her parents. Like she saw what that meant growing up. She knew what that was early in her 20s. She ain't learning how to be no damn wife now. And we damn near 40. I'm 40. She almost 40. Come on, man. So yeah, I'll give it to y'all.
I mean, I agree. I was kind of prepared to be like, well, I don't know, you know what I mean? Because it kind of removes the idea of dating young. But after you explained it, Quest, I mean, I agree with you, you know, because the way somebody is when you meet them, even at 19, they're probably going to be that same kind of person when they're 39. You know what I mean? They might have accomplished more in their career. They might have made more money. You know, they might have even got a little more attractive or whatever it is, but their personality probably isn't going to change. They may become more educated, but the way they respond to problems, the way they respond to strife and whatnot, you know what I mean? The way they act when it comes to femininity and masculinity, all that's probably going to be a lot of the same. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, you know, I really wasn't the same kind of guy I was now that I was 19. but I kind of am the same kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like I just have more experiences and I might, you know, speak a little slower now and listen a little better, but I still laugh at the same jokes. I still got the same kind of personality. You know what I mean? I still have the same kind of attitude that I would have. So I can say that, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't date on potential at all. You should definitely accept a person for who they are right then. And based on the connection conversation that we had, if you got a connection, you're probably dating off that connection and you're dating off of the things that y'all are compatible at and the chemistry, like Bruiser was saying, the chemistry that y'all have. You're not really dating off of, well, one day she's going to be a doctor, so let me just stay with her. That way I could get some of that doctor money when we 40. Like you really shouldn't date off that, because if you're not dating off the connection, you're going to end up divorced before you even see that money anyway. So I agree. I mean, it's vital that you date a person off of who they are and not what you think they're going to be, because that's not going to bring you happiness once you get there, because you know what I mean? You didn't even really date the person for who they are. So I agree with your Quest on that.
Hey, Kyle just said it better than I did. That's all. Shit. Hey, if I can high five you, bro, pow, pow.
You said it so good, Quest, because I was gonna just disagree. I'm like, hold on. But the way you set it up, it was like, okay, I can definitely agree with that. And to continue on, yeah, I've always had my morals from jump. So I don't know if people can change their morals as they get older. I don't know if that happens with some people, but my morals has been set by my mother, by my aunt and uncle that I told you raised me. And I saw that dynamic and I always wanted to mimic that as a little girl. Now that I'm an adult, I am doing those things. I know more now, but I've always been that way. At the beginning, when I first read the prompt, I thought, well, you see that she's a good woman. She just needs to learn how to do a few more things and, you know, give her a chance, you know. But how you set it up, Quest, I can definitely say I agree with that.
Yeah, like if somebody wants to lose weight, you know, you could work with somebody to maybe lose weight. However, you shouldn't go off of, well, I'm going to be with this person because they say they're going to lose 100 pounds. Like you should maybe meet them in the gym. And if they big in the gym, okay, then all right, you see she already putting in some effort, so you can help her build on that. But if you met her at McDonald's and now you expect her to go to the gym, well, yeah, because she said, well, you know, I really want to try to get back in the gym one of these days. And then you say, well, she said that, so I'm gonna go with that. Well, then no, that's, you definitely shouldn't do that. But if you see somebody already in the process of trying to make changes, or they've already put something in place to show that they're trying to improve and still evolve, then yeah, maybe that potential is a little more understandable to go on. Like she's not quite there yet, but I see she's already trying to get there. Like a person who can't cook, but you see they trying to learn how to cook. They're trying to get there. They're trying to maybe bring up a recipe. They want to, you know what I mean? They took a little class. Okay, cool. I could get with that. I can support you in your journey of trying to become a better cook. But if they just don't cook at all and y'all have a conversation and they say, well, you know, one day I hope to be able to cook for my family and friends. You know, I can't wait to cook a Thanksgiving meal, but you ain't boiled the rice. Then no, you just setting yourself up for failure. So it can go both ways, but in general, yes. I mean, the person, when you meet them, how they are, believe them that that's how they're going to be probably for the rest of their life. Again, they're going to make more money. They may have some experiences, but if she wasn't all that feminine when you met her, she not going to all of a sudden, if she wasn't raised that way, if you see her mom and her mom not feminine neither, then you can't say, well, I got the strength to turn her into a feminine woman. Like that's absolutely not what you should be doing. So even if she sexy, you know what I mean? And she might talk a good game. If it's not proof of that, then, you know, definitely don't go off something like that.
Well, niggas on fire this evening or this morning, this afternoon. Shit.
What you think though, Bruiser? Go ahead. I see. I'm curious on what you think, Bruiser. Go ahead.
Yeah, I seem like I'm going downhill. I'm getting fried from point to point, but hey, I like it because I think it's necessary. You know, don't date a woman based on her potential. I take that as in saying, you know, what she can be and not what she already is. If that's what he meant, then he's absolutely correct. But fellas, you need to communicate to her what her potential is, because a lot of women, more often than not, are unaware of their potential. And her potential on a graphical reference is like a mountaintop, you know. A woman's idea of her own potential is not necessarily aligned to what you think her potential is. Oftentimes, women incorrectly evaluate what they feel their potential is. You know, women oftentimes realize that their own potential isn't the correct evaluation after their value, drops.
Is there an example you can give of that? Is there like a
please?
Just like, do you think? So are you saying like, okay, a woman measures her own potential like based on careers, or like what? How do you mean, like in terms of what they measure?
So a lot. Okay, so for a misevaluation, I would say, I got a great personality. I got a great character. I got a PhD. I earn 6 figures. I know how to cook and clean or something like that. As being their potential as a misevaluation. And I'm saying like a lot of women are trying to use that as a driving force to get to their potential. And oftentimes a lot of that takes years and years to get to. And by the time you get to it, you're not being aware of your sexual market value, which has a mountaintop graphical reference. So what I mean by that is her potential should be aligned towards the person who is attempting to wife her up, aligned to what he values in her, especially if she do not recognize her window of value. So, I mean, you got a lot of men out here that's willing to take on a woman and help her reach her potential. If you got the power to do that, go ahead. If you got the endurance, and the mental capacity to deal with that, then do it, because there's a lot of women move off of how they feel, and they're influenced by their outside, they're influenced by social media, reality TV, all this shit, especially when they call it body. And whenever you try to explain things to them, they use shame as a way to, you should just love me for who I am on the inside, or all this other stuff. That's cool. If you wanted to deal with that, brother, by all means, go ahead. To each his own. Everybody's not the same. But that's just not what I teach. So.
Well, to me, if she's showing it and she's being consistent about it, that's not potential anymore. That's just her doing what she needs to do.
Showing what? Showing what, if you don't mind me asking?
I mean, the things that you're requiring. Cooking, she's showing that she don't have no problem with cooking 3 to 4 days a week. That's not potential anymore to me. That's just her showing. She's showing that she don't mind, giving you loving whenever you ask, or please, or doing what she needs to do. That's not potential anymore. That's just showing.
So wouldn't you say that's just maintaining something your role, instead of getting to a potential? I was thinking getting to a potential is being able to accomplish something that you have the ability, creating a trait within yourself that you're able to sustain. Now, once you sustain it, once you continue to cook, once you continue to maintain health and fitness, once you continue to be honest, once you continue to nurture children, once you continue to support your husband, that's a matter of sustaining what you've reached as your potential. But what I'm saying, I wouldn't say that, so basically what I'm saying is, make sure, if you have the ability to, if you have the means, make sure she's already there when you go into a committed relationship. You don't have to wait for her to develop these skills.
If you're dating a woman, and you go over her home, or she comes over to your place and she cooks for you. Now, cool. That's potential. Oh man, she cooked a good meal. That's potential. But then you won't see this meal for another 3 or 4 months. Like, God damn, well, what the shit? That's just potential. Go ahead, she got a potential because she cooked a hell of a steak.
Okay, so let me use that scenario, because I got a different idea of what potential is.
But she doesn't live up to it. She's not consistent. So that's what I'm talking about, potential. But
correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I thought you meant, or what I'm thinking of interpreting as potential. I now use your same scenario. We go over to a woman's house. She cook a steak. The steak is not, to my liking or whatever, or it could have been done better. But I see that she's really very real versed in other things. She reads, she understands, she's able to correct things. That tells me that she has the potential to cook a better steak, because she's able to correct her wrongs. She's able to learn how to do things. She's able to research recipes, because she's able to do that in other things. So she has the potential to be able to make this steak a better way. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I come to eat it next time, it'll be good, because I know that based on her, you know, her other qualities and her traits, she's able to grow in this area. That's what I thought potential was.
Well, I mean, if she come back and cook another steak a day later,
everybody has it. But it's all about, do they live up to it? You know what I'm saying? Do they develop that potential? That's the key. Every woman has potential. Even a trash woman has some type of potential. Now, does she live up to it? If she's trash, more than likely she's not. Then you just gotta let her be and move on. But if that good woman has the potential to be consistent and to do it on a regular basis, then yeah, you need to invest in her. You need to invest your time, energy, and money into that woman. But if she's not the type of woman that, you know, he's willing to invest in because she's just showing nothing but potential and it's hit and miss, no, I wouldn't. I
So you made my point. Like I said, if the fellas is out there that find somebody that they're willing to go on the journey with for her to reach her potential, or even also help her reach her potential, by all means go and do that. But what I teach is, brother, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you put yourself at your height of potential to be able to have a marriage, and only marry a person that's already at their potential, that matches your potential. You know, y'all both at your potential. Y'all both are ready to get in a relationship, because you got to understand one thing. If you're not ready and you're not at your potential, you're not ready, and you bringing in kids, now your kids got to grow with you while you try to reach your potential. You're all growing up at the same time. That's just how I look at it, man.
Complicated. That, you know, it's a lot there, Bruiser, because on one hand, it's asking a lot to come into a relationship as complete in yourself as possible. I feel like that's tough versus maybe growing with somebody and trying to get to a place. Because even based on the scenario that Hink gave, if a woman cooks a steak and it's delicious, but then she don't cook that steak again for 3 months, then okay, are you gonna date because, oh well, I know she can cook a steak, so all I gotta do is tell her, you know what I mean, hopefully that she get to doing it more often, then I could get this all the time. The point is, no, you shouldn't date based off that. She should be cooking that steak once a month, you know what I mean, and without you having to ask. Or she should be cooking you any kind of meal once a week, twice a week. If my woman cooking for me is something that's important, then the potential is, okay, I see that she cooks on her own already, or I see that she values a home cooked meal, so now I'm gonna consider staying with her based on that. Not, I know she can read and put together a recipe, so if she's already doing DoorDash every day, then I can't assume that maybe one day she'll be a cook and stay with the woman based on my assumption that maybe one day she'll get there. The potential is.
I see what you're saying, but it sounds like the same thing Nick was saying. It's about maintaining the height of what you can accomplish. That's being able to sustain what we know that we value in you, what we know you can do. But
well, I think the skill develops.
When you hire a person, you hire them. They haven't had a job. You don't know that they can complete the job, but you do look at their resume and know that they meet the requirements. They had the qualifications to be able to accomplish the task. So therefore, they have the potential to carry out and execute the job that you're going to hire them to have. Now, whether
I think there's different. I think we're hearing it different, because I think the potential is
once you get the job, and let's say week one, you're completing the task based off your requirements. You've met your potential, but then you fail next week. That means you're failing to maintain and sustain your potential.
I get maybe. I feel like that we're splitting hairs on the words. I think there's
I was gonna say, I think we're playing words with friends right now. So here's what I'll say. There's somebody in the chat, and I can't remember what her name is, but she said, question to the panel, are y'all breaking up with women that don't know how to cook? No, ma'am. That's why I'm suggesting I won't date you, or excuse me, I won't marry you, or I won't be serious about you for sure. Now, we can smash and do all these fun things, you know what I mean, if that's what it is, that's the space that I'm in or whatever. But I'm not marrying you if you can't cook. I mean, let's just be realistic here.
No, you can get that famous 20 minutes.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna move on.
Right.
I mean, that's about it. But now, so if you sit there and you can't cook and you're taking courses and classes on trying to learn how to cook, or you reaching out to your circle and say, hey, ladies, man, can you help me? I really like this guy, and one of his requirements is for me to cook. I really want to do what I need to do to maintain and get this man to marry me. So what classes or what suggestions do you have for me? Now,
Yeah.
if she's doing that, I'm all for it. Cool. Matter of fact, I'm going to get you some classes. Matter of fact, we go to classes together so I can make sure you are actually learning and you're not just going in these classes, going through the motions and getting a free meal.
Okay, so I wanted to say, like, in regards to the topic, I think what people have to realize is when you meet somebody, a lot of times that may not be their true self, right? But once a person starts showing you who they are, then that's how you move with them. So especially like for men, dating a woman off of her potential. If she's not showing you attributes of a wife when you first meet her, then really there's no reason for y'all to proceed, because clearly she's not what you're looking for. Now, that's not to say that people may not need growth. They may have to change or improve in certain ways. That's completely fine. But to just meet someone and see nothing in this person that's showing you that this, I could see me spending the rest of my life with her, or she has some, characteristics about her that I find, appealing, to the point where I would want to date her, further. Like, at this point, we're just wasting time, because even like what Bruce, I know Bruce is saying, like, with a job, when you get hired, they review your resume. Yes, but your resume shows history. It shows that you can complete the task. So of course, with this person, you don't know what they can complete. So you have to go by their actions. And just like the man said, you don't put lipstick on a pig. It's still a freaking pig. So when you first meet people, they can come across like, oh, yeah, I know how to do that. I got it all together. Just like the young man was out here being a freaking OBGYN and was not even a doctor. So people lie. Like, they'll put on like they can do these things, but their actions is going to always show you what can and cannot be done. So I think that's what we have to follow through with. And at a certain age, if a woman was not reared to be a wife, when you meet her, she's not a freaking wife. It's just that simple. She's not. When you meet her, if you meet a 40-year-old woman and she don't know how to do things and move as such as a wife, she's not a freaking wife. But if you love her that much, and you feel like she has good intentions, where you're willing to wait for her to, steer her through this, then look, you always take a gamble when it comes to love. So if you're willing to take the gamble, then take it. But I mean, like I said, I was reared as a wife. So
and even based on that, that's not even potential. Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. So you said something too. It's like when you first start meeting people bringing their representatives to the table. Some of y'all representatives can't even cook. You see what I'm saying? If your representative can't cook, you ain't no potential. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? And that's just one example that I'm using, cooking. Hell, yeah, representatives can't even fuck. And you think I'm finna fucking marry you? And your representative can't even do these things? Cut it out, people. Stop it. Go ahead.
That's all I was gonna say. That's all I was
one go-to meal. They can even fake the funk, huh?
Jay didn't go, y'all.
Yeah, I just think that, kind of what Quest just said. Like, it may not be cooking that's the deal breaker. It's just the desire to want to cook. You know what I mean? Or the good intentions that Toya was speaking to. Because even a person with good intentions, okay, I'll rock with a person who's got good intentions for us. She may not have no skills. I met her mom and dad. They ain't shit. So, I'm not going to hold it against her. But if she has good intentions and she wants to learn, then the thing I'm dating is a person who's eager to learn. You know what I mean? I can accept that. Versus, so that's, even then, it's not really potential, because you're already meeting a person who's eager to learn. So you just got to be the person to show them whatever they got to learn to make you happy, but you're still getting a willing participant. So even then, some of the specifics may not be the deal breaker. It's just the fact that you're willing to learn. Okay, cool. I want a woman who is open-minded to new things. I just got to show her the things I like. So even then, if you're meeting a person in present time, that person is not potential. They're already giving it to you. Go ahead, Jay.
I mean, y'all touched on the topics. All I'll say is there's just the dynamic of men and women dating. Usually men are dating younger. Usually women are dating older. So in that regard, you'll have an older man that is a little more established that may have the resources to date a woman where he's allowing for, you know, that potential to actualize, you know, versus two younger people who, you know, if they are the same age and they're dating, it's a growth thing. You know, they may grow together to reach their potential. I think if you're an older man and you have those resources and you have that time where you can date a woman that's younger, but you see where, you know, that potential can actualize, or you allow them for growth, or you know, create an environment where they can grow and it's comfortable and it serves you. It serves what, you know, your mission is or what your purpose is. Then, you know, it's possible. It's possible. But if you're somebody that's a late bloomer, if you haven't really got your thing off the ground, nah, you don't need to be doing that. You need to be, you know, focusing on yourself.
Hey,
Right.
so
Go ahead.
let me close this one out if y'all don't mind, right? So, ladies, if you are out here and you're listening to this, right, understand that if you are single right now, understand that the men that are out there, and probably the type of man that you want, is going to want you as you are right now. So get into the lab and start doing the work if you're not already. Some of y'all are out there single right now and you're actually doing the work. Salute to y'all, shout out to y'all, and hopefully y'all find that mate that you're looking for, right? But if you are currently desiring a family, you're desiring a husband, children, and all these things, and you are not putting forth any effort, no work, and you just hoping they're going to accept you as you are, that is typically is not going to be the case. Start doing the work. Do the work. These men shouldn't have to date you off potential. That's arrogant and that's entitlement, if you ask me. Do the work. Please do the work. And the only reason I say it with such conviction is because I want the best for our community. Our community starts with families. So please do the work, ladies.
Your request, make sure you guys do the work. Do the work. So we'll conclude our episode for today on Lapeef-ING Sundays. If you haven't already, the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Before we go, Lee will be live today at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, and whatever time you guys on that West Coast. 2 hours back. He's going to be discussing the black man's dilemma. I get no respect. The black man's dilemma. So that's going to be the conversation with Mr. Lee today. Tune in. Make sure you guys set the reminder so that you guys don't miss that. It's going to be a great conversation. I want to thank the panel. You guys had excellent perspectives as usual. Welcome back, Toya. It's good to have you, man. That perspective is, man, it's on point. All you guys bring something different though, and that's what I like. Even Bruiser. I'm not trying to sing you out, Bruiser. I'm just saying. I know what it looked like. Damn, I probably fucked up.
Yeah, man.
You don't make it no better than a hard ass laugh, man. Yeah, you ignorant, Jay.
Well, we can't be an echo chamber, so thank you, Bruiser.
No.
Word up.
Hey, shout out to you, JR, for having us. You're the one putting these panels together, bro. So shout out to you and the whole network. You know what I'm saying?
It, bro.
Hardest working man in show business.
Without you guys.
And shout out to having civil discourse. It is okay for us to not agree. Just like y'all say, we can't speak in echo chambers. And I know that was a conversation that was being had in one of the comments from another episode from whatever, right, on why people are arguing and shit like that right now, right? People on these panels, the majority of us don't have an issue as long as it's civil discourse. Let's just be respectful to one another. The same way we're respectful to each other on this panel, let's be respectful on the other panels. Let's have civil discourse. I don't mind disagreeing or being in disagreement with somebody that's respectful. So, you know what I mean? We do it like that, JR. You know what I'm saying? You know I want to go deeper. But, you know,
yeah, I know you can't help it, man. I'm about to try to order some like Lapeef straight jackets. For the body and the mouth, you know. When we do the lives, I'm gonna just be like, okay, when we do this live show, sit on the stage, everybody put the straight jacket on.
Hey, from what I hear, that may not even be necessary no more. What's up? What that Thursday panel looking like?
Stop, Quez.
I just want to know who's gonna be on there. That's all. I'm just asking who's gonna be there. That's it.
Appreciate Trucker Yale saying it was a dope show. Somebody said something about the West Coast time. Oh, he said, do the math. What's West Coast folks? Jay, I don't want to do the math. I only count my money going up. I don't like to count it going down. So
Hey,
It's usually like a 3-hour difference.
I'm looking forward. I'm not looking back. With that being said, salute to you guys. Again, hit that like button if you haven't already. And what a great, awesome show. Now, y'all enjoy y'all Sunday, man. Get to
go Bears.
Yeah, go Bears.
We got this today, Bears. We got this.
What's the score?
Right now, man, I ain't gonna lie, we struggling right now.
What's the score for the Bears? Anybody?
14-3, man.
Are we down?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, ass nigga.
Go to hell, Quest.
Question.
Go to hell.
On that note.
All right, y'all.
Hit that like button, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Shout out to the greatest network ever, the Lapeef Network.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bear down, baby.
Shout out to the anonymous base, became a member today. Shout out to you. Sage Talk with Lee, link is pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you guys catch Sage Talk with Lee. I get no respect, the black man's dilemma. It's gonna be an epic show, baby. Make sure y'all tune in. Hit that like button. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel. And on behalf of the Lapeef Network, just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the last track. Again, on behalf of Lapeef Network, just want to say thank you guys for all the constant support. It's the last track. Hit that like button on your way out. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Said new member came. All right, Shantae, thank you. Shout out to the new member. Appreciate you for tapping in the green game. All right, y'all, I'm out. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday.